Hey, welcome back everyone. We are back out here at our 1860s house rebuild project. If you saw our last video, and we certainly hope you watched it, you saw us do some demolition work here, and we got this nice new beam behind me in place. So now that we got our main structural support for the center of the house in place, we got our shoring out of the way, and we can get to work on the back wall, which is what we will start with this morning. Well, nothing like a good thunderstorm to start the morning. We picked up some grout to fill in the cells on the window infills. Thought that was going to be done by the masons, but they did not take care of that, and we got to knock some brick off the top of here, make some minor repairs to the stone that we also thought were going to be taken care of, but that's okay. Not that big of a deal to fill in now. So we have plenty of water, even though we do have water service, thankfully, but this should move through pretty quick, and hopefully things get a little brighter in here again. Unfortunately, this does look to be a hot week, so with the humidity, heat indexes are forecast to be in the 110 degree range in the mid-afternoon, so maybe some half days. We'll see. But for now, we'll get started on filling these in, and then once that cures up, we can get our anchors and pressure treated plate going. So we are moving along with the grouting. Got that window mostly filled up. That doorway is filled up. So we're just mixing up top here, then shoveling it in. This grout is a bit of a pain to mix up. It doesn't want to hydrate super quickly and evenly, but with enough mixing, it all gets there. So get these two done, and then we got to get down to that window down there. The rain has thankfully stopped at this point. Now it's just super humid. So we got the last little bit of grout going in here. Filling these last couple cells here, and well, you can see that one is almost full. The other one's pretty close. So we'll finish shoveling that in, get the top leveled off now that it's on top of the trowel. Oh well. And then this stuff actually sets up pretty quick. So that will be the last of the grouting, but we'll still need to repair some of the old stone that broke away with the porch framing. And then we are set to go to start putting the wall up. So just as a quick reminder of what we have going on back here, this was initially a brick back wall, and then this would have been an open porch. It was enclosed at some point, kind of poorly cobbled together over time, so a bunch of it has been cut out already and more to go. And then where this masonry wall used to be, we will be putting in a new frame wall. So they had kind of poorly tied it in. We got rid of a lot of falling down brick already. We will pull this sort of beam out and then start rebuilding on top of the previous foundation, where part of it has been infilled with new split face block. We grouted those solid, so we got good anchor points between the stone and the block. And then we'll build up to the ceiling here. Then we will actually go through and support the roof. So current plans call for this whole rear being cut off. We are actually trying to convince the owner that the roof should be saved and it's rebuilt as an open porch like it was originally built as. We'll see if that goes anywhere, but either way, this rear wall needs to go back in place. So first step in that is get our pressure treated plate installed. First thing we need to do is get this column out of the way, and looks like the brick under it, while it was holding it before, isn't too important because it's still holding up. So I think what we can do is probably just cut sections of this out at a time, keep it manageable, keep it off our heads. It's always good. I'm not sure what to tell you.
It's all over the place here.
Well, that works.
Yeah, it didn't hit my leg or knock me down.
Let's hope not. 4. Well, your plan halfway worked.
Yeah. Halfway.
Yeah, which is better than no way. I wonder if you could just hit that. Well, no, I was thinking hit the 2x10 or whatever with the sledgehammer and see if it'll just knock loose.
Up on top.
Yeah. Or even pull on it. Because it doesn't seem like there's much. Well, it is on that steel plate like you thought. So that's what I was wondering, if you can knock it back. Like, it may not want to. I don't know if it's anchored through. Or push the whole thing.
What?
Or just hit that and see what happens. It seems like it's just bouncing back to place. Oh, nope. There we go. Now you need to tap, tap, tap that 2x4. Four. Well, all things considered, that was a pretty good result.
It was better than cutting it all up.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, that takes care of the demolition for this. Now we can get our pressure-treated sill plate in. So what we discovered here after we cut that first piece off is it was never actually attached to the ceiling, so it was just a gravity load keeping it in place, and clearly it was plenty effective for the time. So hit the supports and just fell free, which can't argue with efficiency. So now that that is out of the way, we have our clear space here. Pretty conventional wall construction at this point. The sill plate will go down, and then this is 2x10 floor joists, and they actually are 9¼ inch dimensional. So we can match that up with a couple new 2x10s and get the same height. And then what we may do is probably cut this subfloor back, because there'll be a gap here. So we'll get a new strip of subfloor in here, and then it's just a regular old 2x6 wall above here to support the joists up there. So I think it gets one door, and I don't even think it gets any windows, just a door. I'll have to check the plans again. So all pretty straightforward from here. Of course, got a little bit of cleanup down here. So we're getting our pressure treated sill anchored, and we're using the Titan HD screw anchors, which are awesomely easy. So the plans call for every 72 inches we need an anchor, and we are using 2 10 feet long pieces and 1 6 feet, so they'll be spaced closer than that, but closer certainly doesn't hurt anything. So if you've never seen these before, they're great. They just screw right in. And we will tighten that up perfectly right once we get all the pieces in. We're a little bit on level here, so we're going to end up grouting under this probably to get it exactly how we want it, but can't beat the simplicity and efficiency of that. And the other nice thing is we drilled the hole where we wanted it. We didn't have to try to line up anchors all the way down this. Now this is of course different than a brand new poured concrete foundation where the anchors are easy to wet set. They're not going to be set in stone. But still, the same applies. It is quicker and easier for us to drill in after no matter what. And they're also removable in case you messed something up or you just need a temporary hold. But for this, they will definitely not be removed. Well, we got our pressure treated sill in place, and you can see we have quite a bit of gaps along here that some of it just needed to be grouted up. Some of it will need some stone infilled back in place, but we figured it's a lot easier to do that with the plate in place, and then we know what we're building to. So we'll take care of that maybe after we build the wall. It's not really too important at the moment. We are anchored, so it's not moving anywhere. So we'll probably go ahead and get our rim joist in here and continue building up. When you're in framing mode, it's kind of easier just to keep going along. So we will get started on that up next. Cutting back the floor a little bit and make it a better connection here because we need to get the subfloor extended out. So really pretty simple, just get it at the joist. Oh, there's it's not cut completely at that block. It hung up. Oh, well, it actually did go through. Okay. So get that out, then start on the new. Oh, it was right there. So another nice thing about these Titan anchors is, in this case here, where we had anchored it down, but we weren't sure exactly what level it was because of the unevenness, we can just take the anchors right back out, and we got it leveled up here. So now we're just gonna re-anchor it down with the shim to hold, and then we'll be grouting in later, like in those other spots down there. So we will get our nice level spot here with minimal effort. So moving along here, we got our rim joists. We doubled it up because with the lengths we had to split in the middle, as you can see. So now we get our subfloor patch in on top of that, glued, nailed, and then that allows us to get our wall going up. You may have thought to yourself, those guys should fill that inaccessible void with insulation before they cover it up. And we did actually think of that. So there was some mineral wool here, and easy enough to cut it down to size, get it filled up, and then covered up. So we got our last piece of subfloor for the wall going in. Of course, it would have been nice to be able to do the openings all together, but our sequencing is kind of out of line here. That's just the joys of working with old buildings. Kind of gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But this allows us now to get the wall going up. So got the same situation on this end. But we will start getting our plates down, and we're probably going to have to piece this into place because number one, we have our temporary shoring in the way, but also the heights vary a little bit here, so we'll have to measure, see what we got to do. We'll figure it out. Thankfully, it's only one wall. So we got our plates in place, and they are bummed with each other, top and bottom, so standard double top plate for a load-bearing wall. Fortunately, we didn't record that. We had a crew here tearing out the hardwood floor that needed to come out from here. People running around making noise, but that's fine. So now we're gonna get our studs in place. We got our layout marked. We just gotta pull them up to the top. Like I said before, was no good way to build this except in place. That's fine. Takes a touch longer, but we got everything laid out where it's supposed to be. So we'll start cutting each individual stud to the height that it needs to be and start getting them in place. Well, we got our wall moving along and got enough up here that we can get our temporary supports out of the way now. And when the other crew put them in, especially at the ends here, they got them a little close. So even to finish up, we got to get them out of the way. But that is thankfully pretty easy to do. So we're just getting all the full-length studs up first, and then we'll come back and infill for over here to the left. We have a door, and then we just put the king studs for a window in place over here. They're symmetrical with each other. And then at the ends here, the architect is calling for drilling into the brick and epoxying threaded rod in, so this back becomes essentially one full unit. So we left a stud out there at the end to be able to drill those holes. Don't want to make it too tight or we'll end up blasting out the face of the brick or something undesirable. So get that finished across to here and repeat the same thing with the pressure treated 2x6 at the end, and then we can get our jacks and headers in place, and then it's time for sheathing. We are continuing to come together here. We're getting the doorway put together now, and it is definitely easier to build openings on the ground, but that's fine. Once the header is up there, that takes 2 people. The rest of it goes together pretty easy. Just get the jacks in now, and then we got to get our height set correctly. This should be a 6/8 door, I believe. So extra 2 inches on top. And then we got to frame that window opening down, 10 inches or so, I think. But it's pretty close. So that is most of the work, and then we're going to get set up to start sheathing. So as you've probably seen when we've framed walls before, we prefer to push the headers all the way up to the top and then frame down to the opening. Not only is it a little stronger, arguably, but it also allows for some variability in your opening if you need to. Say you wanted to change the height of the door to maybe a 7/0 door or even an 8-foot door. You can do that. The window, we just copied the other sizes, but say for some reason it needed to change for some reason. Really easy to do that at that point. So easier to frame in our opinion, and I think a lot of people's. So that's what we do. That's what we got. We are ready to go with this wall, except, like I mentioned, the studs at each end, because we need to get threaded rod and epoxy into the brick. That will probably happen after the sheathing, so isn't hard to come back and pop that stud in each end after the sheathing is up and then nail it off. So now we are on to that. We're going to need to set up some scaffolding, just a layer, maybe 2 out in that space, and that is going to require some cleanup because there's some lumber, but there is a mess of brick down there as well, and the dumpster arrived today, so we'll get started, but we're going to have some help cleaning up tomorrow as well, get that big mess from all this demolition work properly disposed of and hauled away and out of our way. So we will hop down into the pit and get that started. Time to get sheathing on this wall, and we got a couple pieces up to start with, and being 26 feet long, it's got a weird break, so we got some more than half sheets at each end, and then we got it worked out with like a 90-inch piece, and then we get a full piece right here and another half piece. So got a nice platform on top of our scaffolding to work off of. We'll add a little bit to get to the top, but I don't think this will take too long to get taken care of. Alright, with the first layer on, basically just stacking, so get them in, nail them off, wash, rinse, repeat, and then we'll find out what we end up with at the end down here. We corrected for level as we went because this floor is definitely on level, but we got that basically right as we went, so we can just stack and then wrap. Unfortunately, these are contractor provided materials, so we didn't get to use zip system or the like, We'll be using house wrap over commodity OSB, but that's fine. All the same in the end as long as you detail it properly. So unfortunately we couldn't get any jetpacks to get higher, so we do have more scaffolding, but with our floor sheathing on, we can just put a ladder on and there's not really much risk of falling off in this case. But we got our second row. We're still not exactly sure if the porch is coming or the roof is coming off or staying on. So I gotta check the dimension on that. We may sheathe that top, we may leave it off for the moment. But right now, moving along. Alright, we're moving along, getting the top row sheathing on. And we'll be finished with this. So we're providing some additional roof support here by going up from the new exterior wall. And the original plans had us building a wall here and cutting that back off. We have convinced them to keep it, thankfully. So right now, this is just additional support.
Ow. 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 Ow, 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 shut up. Okay, so we got our additional support put in place. Is that the most accessible spot? And I got a nice shot of my butt. It's not taking too terribly long to get these all in. We cut them all in advance. Got them up here. Got some boards to work off of. So basically just working down the line. The hardest part is just moving everything, including myself, along the way here. There are some slight variations along the way, about an inch difference up and down as it goes, so nothing too major. Two to go. Dead. I need a battery. Whew. Alright, so that is the one flaw of battery powered tools. fine. Okay, last one. And, oh, there's stuff in the way. I need a reciprocating saw.
A good blade.
Well, here's another case of how everybody likes to talk about how they did it better back in the day, and there are certainly some things they did, but they kind of cobbled things together just as much as people may do these days, or even more so. This was the stair enclosure to get to the second floor attic area, and to get the lath and plaster, they just kind of put some boards and nailed them together and called it a day, and that was fine. Nobody was going to see it. Who cares? It worked. In my way at the moment, so I'm going to cut it out, but good enough.
Watch out. Well, yeah, hammer.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, if you knew I was going to say it, why didn't you have it here already? Here. Thank you. Whew. Okay, glad to get that done.
to be on here. No ladder.
Hand down everything here.
Got it. Got it.
That's it.
Got it.
Alright, so that's all of the 2x6 support pieces in there, and it really is just to provide a little extra support for the roof. It's 2x6s, they are full dimension, they've clearly been strong enough over the years, but a little extra straight down through to the foundation will certainly help out, because these are right kind of mid-span, third span, give or take. So just a little extra bonus strength. There we are, getting the house wrap up here, and I probably said this already, but we are using owner-provided materials here, so no zip system or similar in this case. And it's really, from a water perspective, really not a big deal, since the roof will take care of most of that protection. Can't beat a big overhang. So we will get this on, and then it will be ready for us to put this door in place. Get this tight. Let's get it more than half. Okay. So now we're just using the standard cap nails. Much better than staples. Whoops. Well, better than staples when they actually go in correctly. Alright. Pretty much as simple as that. We need to come down a little.
I just cut it.
We got our new back door delivered, so we can get it in the opening here. Get the house wrap cut back, and we zip taped the sill here to make a bit of a sill pan. It won't get much water because that nice roof will protect it for the most part, but it's still an exterior door, so take the proper care to flash things well. So we'll grab the door here, and as long as we got our dimensions correct, which I'm pretty sure we did, it should slide right in. So as you can see, we got the door in place there. The window, people have been by to measure, so those will be coming sometime relatively soon for around the whole house. And then another crew is taking care of the siding work. And as you can see, we still have some demolition work out here to do on the old enclosed porch before we can start rebuilding the new porch. So things are coming together, but of course they take a little bit of time. So these rods are 3 feet long. They're just a little bit longer than we need by 6 to 8 inches. So just trim them down so they fit between the studs to be able to go in. Who doesn't like a good spark? Wear your safety glasses.
Start with the top.
Yep.
Do what?
Come on.
I don't
No,
know.
that's
how far to
fine.
go.
It's fine.
It's fine. I thought it was.
Move on to the next one.
Right above this joint.
What?
Almost too
Let's see if we can go. Get that one in further.
All done. Well, that wraps things up for work on the back wall here. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Next time we will be working on the new interior stairs down to the basement and up to the second floor. So tune in soon for that. But for now, thanks for watching. If you haven't given a like and a subscription yet, we'd really appreciate it. Definitely helps us out. And again, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.